Shalom lekulam. We talked about the importance of the mitzvahs that we have to do, and we just forget how important they are sometimes because we do it like robots. And that's a problem in our generation, that we do things like robots. And it's not only the Frum community, like only the from birth people, how do you say it today, FFB people, but also those who become Frum, like Balei Tshuva. They have the same problem. They try things, they do things, they try to find their way, and one day they reach a point that they know everything nearly by heart. You know, because they make it with so much devotion in the first months or years, and then the level drops down. That's quite normal. I experience on my own the same thing, and even when times are hard, it is very hard to keep the mitzvahs, but maybe it's good just to remember how important they are, and for that I let another big rabbi speak. It's normally directly from the HaKadosh, but I want to read to you from the Sha'arei Kedusha, or if you want, the Gates of Holiness, from Rabbi Chaim Vital Zatzal. He says, in the seventh gate, tzitzis. You know by now that the mitzvah of tzitzis weighs as the entire Torah, for the numerical value of tzitzis is 600. As the numerical value of the letter is tar, and together with the 13 joints, we reach Tariak, 613, which is the total number of the mitzvahs. Furthermore, it is written that it shall be to you a tassel to look upon and remember all the commandments of the Lord. All the mitzvahs of Hashem you should remember when you look on your tzitzis. Tefillin. He who does not observe the mitzvah of tefillin is called a head that was never crowned with tefillin, and he will not have a part in the resurrection of the dead. But he who observes the mitzvah of tefillin casts fear in all the destructive spirits and in all the nation, as it is said, Dvarim 28:10. And all the peoples of the earth shall see, and it has been taught by Rabbi Eliezer the Great in Brachot 6a, that this verse refers to the tefillin of the head, on which it is said that in Brachot 17a, the righteous sit with their crowns on their heads. And when I think about it very good, because where I worked in the past, because I worked there, sometimes I was there at night, and so I had to put on the tefillin there. I made everything there. And it was full of goyim, and I don't care. I just do. And I did so. And it's very funny because some people, when they saw me, they were so shocked. Like, whoa, what is he doing? Who is this guy? Because they saw me, and some said to me, it looks like you have a photo camera on your head. I say, yeah, it is something like that. It's a photo camera, it's a lens. I can look up to the skies, to Shamayim, and speak directly with God. It's my radio station also. It's funny. Now the next, it's the prayer called Shema Yisrael. By now, you learned that the prayer Shema Yisrael is declaration of the unity of Hashem, and that this prayer is the root of all the mitzvahs. The prayer is comprised of 248 words, and by reading it, the 248 organs of the nefesh are amended. In addition, our sages of blessed memory said that he who reads twice a day the prayer of Shema Israel is like he who observes the entire mitzvahs of the Torah. As it is said in Yeshua, in the beginning of 1:8, you shall meditate on it day and night. And maybe all of you do the Shema. It's better for you to do so, because Yerushalayim was barren because the people did not do it. And it's very important for us. It keeps us safe. Not just you, personal. Keeps the entire nation, Klal Yisrael, will be saved because of this. What you say, because it's not only a prayer, because you speak the words of Hashem in your mouth. You speak for Hashem. That's the biggest mitzvah possible. Maybe Emeth mitzvah is like that. Yeah? That's a very, very big mitzvah. And this you should keep in your mind. Okay. And then we speak about tefillah, about prayer. Chazal is telling us that the prayer is one of Brachot 6b, the things of supreme importance. For it is more important than all the sacrifices, as it is said in Yeshaya 1:11. What to me is the multitude of your sacrifices? And even though you make many prayers, and as sacrifice atone the transgression of man, so does prayer. In addition, it is written in the book of splendor that it's Parashat Vayechel, yes? Prayer is more precious than any ritual and any sacrifice. And this is good, because we made a good deal. What is the good deal? We don't have to make any sacrifice. We don't have to take our, horse or whatever we have, or car in these days, and put inside an animal and bring it to the Beis HaMikdash and then sacrifice there. All the strength we need for it to do so. All the money we lose in our jobs because we have to leave our jobs just to bring it to Beis HaMikdash. But it's not that, of course, you know that. We have not these times, but the prayer is even more intensive, as we know. It's much more intensive. And many great rabbis, doesn't matter to whom you go now, these days. It's not that you go to Chabad, they will tell you the same. You go wherever, Litvish people, it doesn't matter. All will tell you the same. It's at so much importance to have also time for yourself, for you with Hashem. You dedicate your time. That is a sacrifice also. You take the yoke of heaven on your shoulders and you dedicate your time to speak to Hashem directly. And you have to use your own words. You have to put it inside and use your own specific words, even in your own language. If you say the rest in Hebrew, and it's better for you to speak in English or French or German or Italian or whatever, very fine, do so, no problem. But speak it. That's important. Yeah. So you see that even the Chaim Vital is referring to this. I read somewhere that a scientist says he was maybe not normal. Chaz v'shalom. Oh, not normal. Not normal are those people who tell you that all those things are not important anymore. It's nothing. Forget them. It's not true. Don't believe them. Lo acharei v'levavchem ve'acharei einechem asher atem tzunim acharehem. That's the problem of our generation. You believe everybody. They come, here it's black and white. Black and white from where? From a newspaper maybe. Black and white, or they saw a documentary about something where people who made this documentary have nothing on their mind. No intelligence whatsoever. And you can prove that. You have to think about it. all the Erev Rav of this time they want to do is that you lose your Olam Haba. That is not acceptable. This you have to understand. We have to make more. We have to think about our life and to make honest negotiations. And it's even this is Chaim Vital referring to. He says explicitly, the importance of an honest negotiation was already explained from him in the 5th gate. Now we are in the 7th gate. Yeah? Deceit. And you already learned that in Shabbat 31. When man is led in for judgment, he is asked, did you deal faithfully? Righteousness, another thing. The importance of righteousness was explained by Yeshaya. It is not to share your bread with the hungry. Then you shall call, and the Lord Hashem will answer. You shall cry, and you will say, here I am. In addition, it is written in Dvarim, because of this, the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and all that you undertake. And it is written, a gift in a secret averts anger. And righteousness delivers from death. Furthermore, it is said that his righteousness endures forever, for no transgression can annul righteousness. Moreover, righteousness gives life, as the following incident of Benjamin the righteous demonstrates. In Baba Batra this was happening. One day, in a year of shortage, a woman came to Benjamin the Tzaddik, who was a supervisor of the charity fund, and said to him, hello, please help me. And he said, I swear there is nothing in my charity fund, not a penny. She said, please, if you do not assist me, a woman and her 7 children will die. He accordingly assisted her out of his own pocket. Some time afterwards, he became severely ill. The angels addressed the Holy One, blessed be He, saying, Sovereign of the universe, you have said that he who preserves one nefesh of Israel is considered as if he had preserved the whole world. Shall then Benjamin, the righteous, who has preserved a woman and her 7 children, die at such an early age? Straightway his sentence was torn up. It has been thought that 22 years were added to his life. What is 22 years? 22 explains, like the 22 years between Yaakov and Yosef, it's a whole lifespan. It's not only 22 years. It's just a symbol for a whole lifespan. It's everything. Everything is possible in this time. 22 years are more. It's like 400 years. You understand that? What do we have to do? We have to honor, of course, Shabbos. It's known that Shabbos outweighs the entire Torah, as was already explained at the beginning of this gate. He says it. It is written, if you turn back your foot from the Shabbat and call the Shabbat a delight, I will make you ride up on the heights of the earth. I will feed you with the heritage of Yaakov, your father, as we learn from the story of this Shabbat 119, Yosef, who honors the Shabbats, who took possession of all the property of a rich Gentile, and so on. What is more important? Not more important, also important, because Shabbos outweighs all. Male circumcision. If he who acquits the sinner receives an infinite reward, all the more he who circumcises his son and brings him under the wings of Shekhinah. Then, of course, charity, visiting the sick, bringing peace and hospitality, reward men in this world and in Olam Haba. Furthermore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, blessed be He, said that he who studies the Torah and gives charity redeems him and his sons from their exile among the nations. These are the character traits of Abraham, as it is written in Micah 7:20. You say Micah in English? I don't know. show faithfulness to Yaakov and steadfast love to Abraham. In addition, it is written that he who pursues righteousness and kindness will find life and honor. What it means life? It's life in Olam Haba. When they talk about children in the Torah and life, they mean your life now and the life of your children. Yes? Because if you're a good guy, if you keep Torah and mitzvot, then your children can live much better, much more secure. Yes? It's important to understand that. Many people say, how can you say that if I don't keep this and that, then it's possible that my child will die. Because also very big, great tzaddikim die. Of course they die. But then we speak from the other side of life. That's life in Olam Haba. Because most of the time the Torah is referring to life of Olam Haba, not to life of this world. And this you have to understand, and this you have to keep in mind. In studying the Torah, the importance of setting times for Torah study was already explained in the fifth gate. It was found that studying Torah outweighs all the mitzvot, and that in Kiddushin 40b, a person is first judged on how much time he spent studying Torah. As it is said, the beginning of strife is like letting out water. And what is more important, if you study Torah, you always have to keep in mind that every sentence must be limud Torah. You have to learn something out of it. You don't have to be a sharp brain. You don't have to be the biggest Talmid Chacham, the biggest Mekubal or whatever. You don't have to be a rabbi. You can be a beginner. It doesn't matter. Don't make complicated investigations and then they will lead you to nothing, maybe to heresy. But if you look to the Torah, like many people, sometimes the Chilonim, they show us how to make it. They read the Torah in English, German, French, Italian, and they find something important inside. Something. That is your job in life. Why not? Find something. And the next Shabbos, sit on your table and give a speech, at least one sentence, one phrase, something from Torah. These are the good conducts, for sure.